Here's a story from Bloomberg. Tesla engineers visit Twitter office to review code for Musk. Well, there you go. I mean, that's the news. This is huge.
Bum, bum, bum.
So I think this is why Vijay was crying when the news broke that Elon was buying the platform, because I wonder who's going to prison.
Well, I think people should certainly be held accountable and face serious consequences for what Twitter did, especially during the 2020 election. Leading up to the 2020 election, when they censored the Hunter Biden story and they started banning all the conservative accounts, and out of nowhere they banned political advertising without giving people really much of a heads up.
And there should be some real life consequences for this. Facebook, by the way, has just been ordered to pay $24.7 million to the state of Washington because they didn't release all the information behind their political advertisements. Now, imagine what we're going to see if we're going to actually see anything, because again, at the end of the day, we also have to start thinking about this way. This is Elon Musk's new product. Will he release information that makes this product look bad? That's another question I think we should be asking ourselves.
It could make it look good. Look,
because you're also looking at a regime change.
If Elon comes in right now and says, just right at the gate, so when they testified before Congress about these three things, they lied. Here's the proof in their code. I wonder who then, if they I don't know if they testified under oath or whatever, probably not, but that'll be huge. Make Twitter look as bad as possible. And that's the right move. You know why? Because then if in 2 years you only make it look a little bit better, it looks a lot better. You know what I mean?
Right. When Chairman Mao died in 1976, the Chinese Communist Party, of course, they have their new emperor now, but at the time they realized they had to kind of find a way to maintain the legitimacy of the party in the face of the Cultural Revolution. 15 million people have been killed. Every school, every university in the entire country shut down. Families turned against family. It's abject chaos going on across the entire country. So they have to find some way to say, okay, we can still be in power. We have to maintain the brand, but we have to separate from this. So what do? They blamed it on his wife. And three of her friends, they called them the Gang of Four. They arrested the wife. Then she commits suicide in prison. And then Deng Xiaoping and the party go off and say, well, now that we've taken care of that, everything's fine.
Take a look at this. In the story, they say Twitter's engineers can no longer make changes to code as of noon in San Francisco. The people said that's part of an effort to ensure that nothing about the product changes ahead of the deal closing. Said the people who declined to be named. Come on, they had months to figure out how to cover their tracks and bury the evidence, right?
They probably called in Hillary Clinton and be like, Hillary Clinton, you got experience with this.
Bleach pit, bleach pit.
Bring the bleach, please. Or bring the hard drives, please.
I mean, this is
bring the rag.
If Seamus is listening, we got one for you. Elon is going to buy the platform, and then Vijay Gadde starts crying. What do we do? They're going to get the evidence. And then they hear a doorbell ring, and they open the door, and it's Hillary Clinton with like 6 hammers in her belt, and she's like, "Let's go!" And
sunglasses on.
They start smashing everything with hammers. And for those who don't know, it's because the Clinton campaign smashed their phones with hammers, thinking that would actually stop someone from collecting the data. But whatever.
And when she was asked at one point about wiping her server, her illegal email server that she had in her bathroom, she said,
"Was it a bathroom?"
Yep. She said, "Wipe? You mean like with a rag?"
Yes. And then I love when NBC News, Trump said she acid washed her server. It was like, fact check, false. Hillary Clinton did not use a corrosive substance.
You remember how they caught the guy on Reddit, right?
Yeah.
You remember the whole story?
He was bragging about it.
No. He wasn't just bragging. He didn't know how to do it.
He said,
how do I remove a very, very VIP from some emails?
And I'd also like to point out that yesterday was the 6-year anniversary of Hillary Clinton's "Happy Birthday to the Future President" tweet. The tweet that will forever live in infamy. One of the greatest tweets ever, in my opinion.
I just like to sometimes play that video where she's sitting in the chair and she's like, "You can be the candidate, you can be the nominee, and it can be stolen from you." And then I'm just like, see.
Well, she doubled down on those being an election denier a couple days ago. She said that right-wing extremists are already starting to steal the 2024 election. And, I just got subpoenaed and went through a year and a half of, hell for questioning the legitimacy of the 2020 election with evidence backing it up. Is the Republican Congress going to subpoena Hillary Clinton for sowing distrust in the 2024 election already? So, the wicked witch is refusing to go away.
But by the way, listen to these phrases that we're using now: sowing distrust, raising questions, there's no law backing up any of these things. This isn't a legal basis. The legal basis in the United States is something called freedom of speech.
Did you see the Veritas
And that's
thing?
where the sludge comes from.
You see the Project Veritas release that said
Yeah.
they're tracking misinformation as an election crime, and they define it as accidental, like false information. It's like a mistake.
So it's like, I mean, there used to be an old joke, and I'm not going to say it, but this old joke that, you know, they would say Republicans vote on, and then they would use a different day of the week than election day, or you could change it and say Democrats vote on a different. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that would be this idea that
a
tricking
memer
them.
got arrested for that.
There was a guy who was
Well, we
memed
just saw
over a draft meme, and he was arrested and
Horrible.
charged, claiming, you know, this meme campaign that was done in 2016. It was, I believe, it started on 4chan, and I forgot the guy's name off the top of my head, but his real name, not his Twitter name, and he was arrested for creating a meme saying that Hillary Clinton wanted to draft our daughters. That's
Really?
it. That was the meme.
horrible. And then meanwhile, like you mentioned at the beginning of the show, you have, you know, Fetterman that's running lies and lies and lies about
probably,
Dr. Oz.
No, it's probably PACs.
Well, PACs that are aligned with Fetterman that are heavily funded by the Democrat Party.
I did see a commercial where he said, "I approve this message."
Right. So these people,
Douglas Mackey, by the way.
Douglas Mackey. He's got a great legal defense fund. If you guys want to check that out, just Google his name. I'm sure you guys can find that. But it's horrible what's happening there. But John Fetterman can run these ads that are knowingly lies, and they put millions of dollars behind them. And John Fetterman, like you said, will probably just get a little fine or a slap on the wrist. But Douglas Mackey has a draft meme, and now he's facing prison time.
A draft? Oh, right, the draft.
It was in his draft,
meme.
Right.
You know, and so it's just BS and it's wrong. And so I think that whoever the next Republican president is, I believe it's going to be Donald J. Trump, but I would like to see him pardon Douglas Mackey for this. And we can't send memers to
once,
prison.
I agree with Megyn Kelly, by the way, on her take on the primary.
Well, that's
About DeSantis?
Just her take on where the Republican Party is, the Republican base. And then she was in this interview with, I think it was Dave Rubin, and he was asking her, do you think DeSantis is going to get it? Do you think Trump's going to get it? And she said, it's just going to be Trump, and there's no question.
I saw that. And I think she's right.
And then Trump posted it on Truth Social, and now it's gone like nuclear.
That's right. Yeah, basically saying, she said DeSantis is made by Trump, basically. Everybody knows it. DeSantis knows it. DeSantis needs Trump, his endorsement, so there's no way he runs against him.
It's true. And, you know, it's not like, I mean, DeSantis goes viral on Twitter, but at the end of the day, he doesn't have the people's support all across the country. Only 6% of Ron DeSantis' donations come from small dollar donors. You know, he's got 500 mega donors, including, you know, Chicago billionaire Ken Griffin that has given him like $140 million. And so, like, we need a president for the people, not by Wall Street.
We talked about when Trump said to lock up the journalist until they give up their sources. And, you know, it's a very bad thing. It's kind of scary, but everyone laughs and cheers about it. Trump supporters are happy. I just think people need to realize these Democrats, most of the influential figures, let me slow down. On the left, prominent political figures are journalists. On the right, prominent political figures are just
us.
Yeah, random, disparate voices. Some are consultants, some are politicians, some work in media, some are journalists. But the left's loudest voices are like activists and journalists.
Maggie Haberman,
right.
Rachel Maddow, Joy Reid,
Taylor Lorenz.
Lorenz, yeah.
So when Trump says, take the person who's writing and lock him up, and then they soon are going to find out they're going to be someone's boyfriend, they'll spill the beans.
Who in this case, by the way, would be Josh Gerstein from Politico.
But people cheer for this. And the Democrats are like, oh, it's so horrifying. And I'm like, yeah, you know, the thing is, regular Americans despise the media so much. And this poll after poll shows it, that you are not earning any favors by coming after Trump for this.
Greg Gianforte body slammed a journalist when he was running for Congress. And they said, oh, he's going to lose. This is terrible. This is terrible. Not only did he win the congressional race, he's now the governor of Montana. I mean,
so yeah. Right. Because people really despise the media.
Just read the room.
It's kind of scary. I don't like it. But the media is such despicable, evil garbage. I mean, just do this.
That being said, there's other ways to find that leaker than that. A lot of
Sure. There's better ways to find the leaker. But after Trump learned about coloring the water, I mean, I'm surprised. Art of War stuff. But after the Fetterman-Oz debate, Google search Dr. Oz, all hit pieces. Every single one of them. And I'm just like, this is insane.
I even saw someone pointing out that if you go to YouTube, it's actually hard to find the full debate. That if you're looking for
unless you go to the official YouTube channel of the news organization that did it. So I think they went against all the other channels. But YouTube's deleting a lot of videos.
What if you set it by length and say, like, Can't you do like 20 minutes plus or something?
I haven't seen it anywhere, and I've heard those videos be deleted.
Wow.
So you're talking about the Google searches only being negative Oz stories, but
or pro Fetterman.
During that debate, right after that debate, Google searches for "how do I change my vote" were off the charts in Pennsylvania. So the people watch that debate. They're like, look, they lied to me. They said John Fetterman had some sort of functioning brain. It was evident that he didn't. And so now the people that, maybe they voted for him early, they want to vote for Dr. Oz
Imagine
now.
being Connor Lamb right now and the thing that you lost to this guy.
Which,
keep in mind, the Democrat, and this is why you have to keep in mind, the relationship between Democrats and media has always been like this, right? They were able to hide up the fact that FDR couldn't walk for years. They would prop him up. But the point about Fetterman that I want to make is this. He had that stroke a week before the primary. This was not recent.
They kept it a secret.
They kept it a secret. And at one point, he was posting videos as if he was in these rallies and holding events while he was in the hospital.
Wow.
Nobody in media called him out on this.
Thanks for checking out this segment from the Timcast IRL podcast. But if you want to check out the full show live, tune in Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. And if you want more special access content, head over to timcast.com and become a member. Your membership helps sustain this company, keep our journalists employed, makes this show happen, and you will get access to exclusive members-only segments of the Timcast IRL podcast, and there's a massive library to check out. So again, go to timcast.com or tune in Monday through Friday at 8 p.m., and we'll see you all there.